Isekai romances hit different when the fantasy world actually matters and the romance doesn't feel forced. Today, we're counting down 8 shows that nail both magic, adventure, and relationships that'll have you screaming at your screen. Number 8. The World is Still Beautiful. Kicking off with number 8, we've got The World is Still Beautiful. And honestly, this one's criminally underrated. Nike, our rain-summoning princess, gets shipped off to marry the Sun King Livius. Except plot twist, he's literally a kid, like 12 years old. Before you close the tab, hear me out. This isn't creepy. The age gap is addressed head-on, and the romance develops slowly as Livius matures. It's basically enemies to friends to something more done right. What makes this work is Nike's personality. She's not some blushing doormat. She roasts Livius constantly, calls out his tyrant behavior, and refuses to play the obedient wife role. Their banter is S-tier, and watching this traumatized kid king slowly learn to trust someone? Chef? It's genuinely heartwarming. The rain summoning scenes are gorgeous, the world building is surprisingly solid, and the side characters actually contribute to the plot. My only complaint? 12 episodes isn't enough. This needed a full 2-cour run to really develop everything. But what we got still hits. If you want a romance that earns its emotional beats instead of speed-running to confession scenes, this one delivers. Number 7, Snow White with the Red Hair. Sliding to number 7 with Snow White with the Red Hair, the show that proves you don't need your maid dramatic trauma dumps to create compelling romance. Shirayuki's got rare red hair that makes creepy nobles want to collect her like a Pokemon, so she nopes out of her kingdom and literally runs into Zen, a prince who's actually respectful. Wild concept, I know. What follows is the healthiest relationship in anime history. No love triangles, no manufactured drama, just 2 competent people supporting each other's goals while occasionally blushing. The isekai element here is subtle. It's more historical fantasy than Truck-kun Terry, but the world building is immaculate. Court politics, herbalism, actual career progression for our heroine. This show remembered that fantasy worlds need depth. Shirayuki isn't just the prince's girlfriend. She's studying to become a court herbalist while navigating noble society that constantly underestimates her. Zen is what every male lead should be. Supportive without being overbearing, protective without being possessive, and his squad of royal guards are genuinely hilarious. The slow burn romance will test your patience, but when they finally hold hands, you'll understand why shoujo fans lose their minds over this show. Number 6, Kamisama Kiss. Landing on number 6, Kamisama Kiss said, "What if we made the girl the god?" And anime fans everywhere said, "Thank you." Nanami goes from homeless to land god in one episode after a random deity yeets his job at her. Her new shrine comes with Tomoe, a fox familiar who's hot, sarcastic, and absolutely furious about serving a human. Their dynamic is pure gold. She's stubborn and reckless, he's overprotective and dramatic, and they roast each other in every scene before gradually catching feelings. This show is yokai central. You've got Tengu, snake gods, wind gods, and enough supernatural politics to fill a Discord server. The world expands every arc, introducing new realms and deities while keeping Nanami and Tomoe's relationship at the center. What I love is that Nanami earns respect as a god through actual effort. She's not instantly powerful, she screws up constantly, but she never stops trying. The supporting cast is chaotic perfection. Mizuki the snake familiar, Kurama the idol Tengu, and every deity Nanami accidentally befriends. They all get development. And that slow burn romance? Chefs, it's painfully good. 2 seasons and an OVA still aren't enough. But trust me, number 3? It'll mess with your head in the best way possible. Number 5, Yona of the Dawn. Looking at number 5, Yona of the Dawn is what happens when a sheltered princess speedruns character development after her entire life explodes. Yona's 15th birthday goes from "which dress should I wear" to "my cousin murdered my father and is hunting me down" in about 10 minutes. Her childhood friend Hawk becomes her bodyguard, and they're on the run with nothing but trauma and unresolved romantic tension. The isekai vibes here are light. This is historical fantasy Korea with dragons, but the world building is immaculate. What separates this from generic Princess on the Run plots is Yona's growth. She starts as naive and helpless, but instead of staying the damsel, she learns archery, strategy, and politics. She's not trying to reclaim her throne through others. She's building her own power base. The romance with Hawk is beautifully frustrating. They've loved each other forever, but trauma, duty, and timing keep getting in the way. The Dragon Warriors arc is where this show ascends. 4 legendary dragons reincarnate to protect Yona, each with unique powers and tragic backstories. The found family dynamic hits different when everyone's united by prophecy and shared suffering. My only rage? This needs more seasons. The manga continues, but we're stuck with one perfect season and eternal cliffhangers. Number 4, Spice and Wolf. Sliding to number 4, Spice and Wolf proves romance doesn't need action scenes when your dialogue is this elite. Lawrence, a traveling merchant, accidentally acquires Hollow, a wolf deity who's been stuck in harvest god duty for centuries and desperately wants to return home. Their journey north becomes the smartest romance anime you've ever seen because it's built on economics and trade negotiations and currency manipulation. I'm not joking. This show makes medieval commerce entertaining, and their relationship develops through business deals and verbal sparring. Holo is S-tier waifu material, confident, playful, occasionally feral, and smarter than everyone else. She teases Lawrence constantly, drinks too much, and delivers one-liners that would destroy lesser men. Their banter carries entire episodes, and the romantic tension is suffocating in the best way. No confession in episode 3. These two dance around their feelings for seasons while bankrupting rivals and surviving financial crises. The world feels lived in and real. Towns have economies, churches have political power, and every arc involves actual stakes beyond defeat the villain. This isn't power fantasy isekai. It's historical fantasy, where intelligence and negotiation matter more than swords. The medieval European setting is gorgeous, the soundtrack is perfect, and if you're tired of brainless romance, this will restore your faith. Number 3, The Ancient Magus' Bride. Landing on number 3, The Ancient Magus' Bride is beautiful, unsettling, and emotionally devastating, often in the same episode. Chis, a girl who's given up on life, auctions herself off at a slave market. Elias, a skull-headed mage who's definitely not human, buys her for £5 million and declares she'll be his apprentice and his bride. Yeah, it's complicated. What follows is part apprenticeship, part gothic romance, part trauma recovery, and completely unlike anything else on this list. The isekai element is subtle. Chise enters the magical world that exists alongside modern England, but once you're in, it's pure fairy tale horror. Dragons, fae, ancient curses, and creatures that'll help or eat you depending on their mood. Elias teaches Chis magic while she slowly rediscovers her will to live, and their relationship is fascinatingly weird. He's inhuman and learning emotions. She's human but disconnected from them. They're both broken, trying to understand each other and themselves. The animation is stunning. Watercolor backgrounds, fluid transformation sequences, and creature designs that'll haunt you. This isn't fluffy romance. It deals with depression, suicidal ideation, and what it means to heal. The supporting cast includes an alchemist with boundary issues and a church that's definitely hiding something. 2 seasons and an OVA, and every episode is gorgeous chaos. Number 2, The Duke of Death and His Maid. Looking at number 2, The Duke of Death and His Maid takes forbidden love literally, because if the Duke touches anyone, they instantly die. Our boy got cursed as a kid and exiled to a mansion in the middle of nowhere. His maid Alice refuses to leave and spends every episode flirting aggressively while he panics because one accidental brush means she's dead. It's rom-com torture and it's hilarious. She'll lean in close, he'll scramble away screaming, and somehow this formula never gets old. What makes this work is the mystery. Someone cursed the Duke. Why? Who benefits? As they investigate, the world expands. Witches exist, magic has rules, and the Duke's family is hiding something. The stakes are real because every near touch is life-threatening, but the show balances drama with comedy perfectly. The CGI animation was controversial, but honestly, it smooths out by season 2, and the character expressions are adorable. The supporting cast includes the Duke's childhood friend, who's hopelessly in love with his own maid, parallel relationship with hubby, a witch who actually wants to help, and family members with varying levels of awful. 3 seasons and a conclusion that actually delivers? This show understood the assignment. If you want wholesome romance with real stakes and a satisfying ending, this is your comfort watch. Kicking off number 1, Romeo Juliet said, "What if Shakespeare? But make it flying islands, dragon gods, and actually good." Juliet's family got murdered when she was a kid. She's been hiding as a boy and moonlighting as a masked vigilante. Romeo's the son of the tyrant who killed her family, and he's a genuinely good person trapped in an evil regime. They meet, fall in love instantly, and then reality kicks in. She has to kill his father, he has to choose between family and justice, and oh yeah, the floating city is dying because the great tree needs a sacrifice. This show goes hard. It keeps Shakespeare's core tragedy, but adds political intrigue, rebellion arcs, and a fantasy world with actual lore. The supporting cast gets development. Juliet's crew of survivors, Romeo's internal conflict about his father's tyranny, and the citizens caught between them. The romance is intense and doomed, which makes every happy moment hurt because you know what's coming. The animation aged surprisingly well. The soundtrack is orchestral perfection, and the ending will emotionally destroy you. This isn't Isekai in the traditional sense. No modern person gets transported, but the fantasy world is fully realized. If you want romance with actual stakes, political intrigue, and a story that respects your intelligence, this is the peak. So there's the list, 8 isekai romances that actually deliver on both fronts. Whether you want healthy relationships, forbidden love, or emotional devastation, these shows have you covered. Drop your favorite isekai romance in the comments, and if I missed yours, fight me in the replies. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.